Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Road to 10K, the format where I'll grow my app from $3,000 to $10,000. I'll show you all the real numbers, the real struggles, and everything that has worked for me and that doesn't work for me, so you don't have to repeat the same mistakes. If you're building an app or you have a side hustle in mind, follow along for the ride. Let's go. So this is my app. It currently makes $3,000 per month, as I said. It's called Flights25, and it helps you to make your travel more stress-free. How, you may ask? Well, you get the current flight status of your flight for you and your loved ones, which you can share, and you have basically all your flights on your phone. You get nice statistics, and if you travel frequently enough, you should definitely go ahead and install it. You will see the difference it will make to your travel. It has over 100,000 downloads and a 4.6 stars rating in the US, so it's a legit app, and yes, it's generating a real revenue. Now, why the 10K number, you may ask? If you have an app, it's basically an asset, and people are willing to pay for that asset because it generates income. Now, how much they pay for it, it really depends on a variety of factors, but in general, you could say you can sell your app for a multiplier of 24 to 48 on the monthly profit. So right now we have 3K per month, so we could technically sell it already for $72,000 to $144,000, but we want to reach for more. And so when we reach the 10K goal, we can sell it for $240,000 to $480,000, and this would give us almost a $500,000 exit, which is already life-changing. I mean, it's money with which you can either become a goose farmer or an avocado farmer. I haven't decided which one yet, but both seem very tempting. And yeah, you can play the game even further. I mean, 20K, almost have $1 million here, and then at 50K, you're way over $1 million now. Technically, we already cracked the 10K mark when it comes to revenue, but we're not like this clickbait YouTubers who say, oh, I'm making 18K per month here in July. We're not going to do that. I'm going to show you the real numbers, the money that actually lands in the bank account, and not just some abstract figure. Well, it's not too abstract, but it kind of is. I mean, this is the screenshot from RevenueCat. It's a platform I use to track my subscription business. And we can see here it's a steady growth when it comes to the revenue. In March, we were roughly around $4,000, and in July, we hit a peak of almost $18,000. And then in August now, it's gotten a little lower. I mean, travel season is going down now with around $14,000. But as I said, revenue is not equal profit. And so these are the real numbers. So we can see here $1,900 in April. It was going up to 4,000, and then we had a peak in July with at $5,300. And then a small decline now in August. It's mainly due to the Google Ads. I will talk more about that in a second. But yeah, you may ask, okay, so we got $18,000, and out of that only $5,000 lands in our bank account. What the hell is going on? I mean, of course you have VAT and the store fees, so that already is at least around 30%, 35%, depending on the country. And yeah, these are the monthly operating expenses. You can see here a big part of this is our Google Ads right now. So we have on average $5,000 that we spend every month. This is the average of the last 4 months. And then the second biggest chunk is the data API cost. So we can't get the flight data for free. We have to pay providers for it. And this chunk here is around $1,700. And then together with other supporting libraries or infrastructure services, we're around $2,000 in costs here. Unfortunately, we can't optimize too much with these two expense pots, but definitely we can have a look at Google Ads and how we can try to drive the costs down here or find another distribution channel that is more profitable for us. So Google Ads aren't enough anymore for us. I mean, first of all, they are only optimized for Android. The attribution works much better there, and that's why our campaigns are set up for Android. Second of all, the return on ad spend is quite low with 150% to 170%. If we subtract all the costs from that, we get a number that's plus minus zero. So our ads are slightly profitable. And that's okay, because the main function for our Google ad campaign is to be the backbone for ASO. So because we're sending traffic, this is a good signal for the ranking algorithms on the Play Store, and this is why we get certain keyword positions in the Play Store. Now we can see here the actual numbers. So we spent 10,000 euro in the past 60 days, got back 16,000 in revenue. But yeah, cutting through all the costs, this is like plus minus zero. So we definitely need new ways to generate more and more profitable revenue, especially for the iOS version of our app, because all the revenue that I showed earlier was mainly on Android. And there are two ways to grow revenue. The first one is by getting more customers and more traffic on the listing page. And the second one is by making customers worth more, by increasing the lifetime value, the LTV. Now the second part is usually trickier and more time consuming. And as I didn't plan to launch any big features this month, I want to focus my time and energy right now on testing new distribution channels. I might have more time for it around October, November, but as of right now, the goal is also mainly to find new users for the iOS version. And then with that feedback that I get, I can then start on launching new, bigger updates. The opportunity that I was thinking about was influencers. They're very popular when it comes to e-commerce brands, and I don't see many indie developers leveraging influencer campaigns. Maybe there is a reason why, and I'm going to find out what the reason actually is. But if you look at an app like CalAI, most of the growth actually came from collaborating with influencers or creating viral videos themselves on social media like TikTok, Instagram. And so this is definitely something that I want to leverage for my app as well. And it makes sense, like people trust influencers more than they trust ads. And there's also some organic and virality component that comes into play here, which you usually don't get via ads. Yeah, it's usually low profit margin. You can scale it, but also just to a certain point. And yeah, I'm very curious to see how it plays out. So the plan that I made is the following. I want to find 10 to 20 travel influencers. I want to test a small collaboration with them, maybe a story or a small post. This has to be as natural as possible, of course, so people don't think it's an ad or something. And then what we do is measure installs and ROI. Now it will be a little bit tricky, but not impossible, especially because there are much less downloads on iOS right now. So any spike in the downloads and revenue charts, I can basically just attribute to these campaigns. And if it works, I can scale it. If it doesn't, I have to think of something else. Now, I don't want to be the one DMing all these influencers, so I'm going to look for an influencer marketer on Upwork and a Polish job platform site, which is called Pracuj.pl. But maybe you yourself watching this, you have experience with this, on how to get good deals with influencers, on how to approach them and then negotiate a deal. Please DM me. I'm on LinkedIn. Just send me a DM there and maybe we can work together. But yeah, this is the plan that I have right now. So to crack the 10K profit, I'm going to rely on a mix out of three things right now. I want to see how this influencer thing will work out, and then we're going to improve the retention further by building better features, by listening more to customers and see why they churn their subscription. And then lastly, also by relying on ASO. So in an ideal scenario, the influencer campaign will push our rankings in the App Store and the Play Store, and it will hopefully be enough to crack the 10K profit here. So if you want to follow me on this journey of getting to the 10K profit and eventually landing a $500,000 exit, please make sure to follow me on LinkedIn. From time to time, I'm posting insights there as well. And subscribe to this YouTube channel. It would really mean a lot to me, especially in this very early beginning. I will share the wins, the failures, and real numbers along the way. So thank you for watching.